afternoon, YouTube. Oh, sorry. Good evening, YouTube. This is Mallory George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. I know, guys, we're a little late tonight, and not too busy. Football. We won't see no more football till next week. Super Bowl's coming up, so we got some free time, guys. I know, come in here and enjoying your time with me, and I appreciate it. So, folks, we have here is a lovely lady, and I saw her recently did an interview with man KL the Wanderer. If you want to watch the interview, it's in the link of the description of this live stream. So check it out. Shout out to my man KL. He's a great guy. He's really coming up on his ways, especially in his interviews. So we have here the lovely Mrs. Briana Hills. She is not only a personal trainer, a bikini competitor, and also a power lifter. Wow. Yeah. And she's going to share her story about how she got started in bodybuilding and what her plans are coming up for this new year, 2025. Can you believe we're already into another month of 2025?
I know.
Welcome, man. Yeah. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you. So, for us who don't know you, can you please share how you got started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
So back in 2019, I did my first figure competition. I was just in the gym doing my thing. I, always lifted. I love to lift heavy. And someone actually approached me in the gym and said, "Hey, you should compete." Back then I had no idea what they were talking about. Didn't know anything about bodybuilding, didn't know anything about figure, nothing about anything. So, we chatted a little bit and she's like, "Oh, you should do like a figure competition." So I did my research, and that's back when Dana Lynn Bailey had just won the Olympia, I believe. So Miss DLB was kind of my inspiration. I did a lot of my research on her training programs, her, diets and things like that. Just kind of said, "Oh, what the heck? Let's give it a shot." I found a local trainer and a coach, and the rest is history. I did my first one in 2009, took first place, did my second one 3 weeks later and was placed fourth, I think, third or fourth. And then I've done 3 or 4 shows every year since, minus COVID. I didn't compete during COVID. Mm-hmm. I did take a couple of years off.
Yeah, I know.
To live life. And
that was a tough time in 2020 because my mother, she passed away that year. She got the virus, and it's tough.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of competitors I appreciate that. A lot of people still, even though it was you had quarantine and stuff going on, bodybuilding was still going because even that didn't stop it too much. And I know that's always a typical story about like ladies. You're working out in the gym and says, "Hey, you want to be a bodybuilder?" And and it's just happened. So where's that first show?
I love the sport. I love the process. I did figure for a couple of years. I jumped up one class and did physique. That was definitely not my thing. And then I got into bikini because a personal training client of mine actually said she wanted to do a bikini competition. And I knew nothing about that division at the time and didn't feel comfortable training her for one if I didn't know that category in and out. So I actually jumped in and did a bikini competition before I trained her for her prep so that I knew the ins and outs, the posing, because the diet's different, the training is different. So that's kind of what got me into the bikini side of it. And I just, found that I like the bikini. I like bikini. Yeah. It's kind of a little more of my personality.
Well, bikini's been wild for a bit. It's, to me, I no offense to you competitors, I call it the basic species division. It didn't really grow from the other divisions like figure and fitness and physique. It really was brought in, and it has changed.
It has definitely evolved. Bikini is an ever evolving class. From when it first came out, and I did my first one, I think it had been out 2 years maybe or 3. And I've always competed natural. So all of my shows have been OCB, USBF, or ANBF shows. I just recently got into the natural NPC side of things. So I always started with the natural OCB shows, which has also itself has a different bikini look than what NPC looks for. So ladies, if you're doing bikini, make sure you're looking at the organizations and what that particular organization is looking for.
Yeah, I know with OCB. I interview affiliates OCB because it's a natural organization. You can't take any kind of performance enhancers, anything that's not considered, that can be considered as a performance enhancers. Even if it's just something like if you have I was talking to one lady, she had issues with her, thyroid, and she needed something to help her, and she was natural, but she had no choice, but she couldn't compete anymore natural because of what she was using her medication. Just I know you got to do a test. You have to
You have to do a
keep
polygraph test, yep, and the drug test. But if you're on prescription medication for something like that, if you disclose it to the organization ahead of time, they have the option to allow you or not allow you to compete. If you can prove medically that your doctor prescribes you that you actually need that medication for whatever reason, then it's up to the organization to either allow you or not allow you to compete.
Well, some organizations, they usually won't do it because they still feel like it might be, even if you get a doctor's note, it's always some somatics with dealing with this.
It's at their discretion. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not it's not just performance enhancing either. It's also anything that's on the WADA list. There's stuff on the WADA list that aren't performance enhancing technically, but it's on the list, so you can't take it. So again, make sure you do your research.
Mm-hmm. Stuff like maybe kind of a diuretic because you want to push extra water and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to be careful because that can also hurt you, especially when compared to or enhanced. Because I know a lady a few years ago she was taking diuretics and she died because of that. Because dehydration is one thing because you try to push that extra fluid out of your body because you want to look that shredded, that vascular look, especially if you're in like divisions like figure or physique. Not so much in bikini. You still have to have that nice soft fitting look. We have those nice lines too.
Yeah. Yep.
So what was your first show and what was that like for you being on stage?
It was great. It felt like home to me, if that makes sense. Like I've done other sports before. I did softball in high school and I was a cheerleader and it just wasn't my thing. But I feel like because bodybuilding is it's a single sport. It's you against you. It's not you as a team against other people. And maybe that sounds selfish of me, but, I'm very much a team player, but there's a lot of unknowns on a team. It's like, if I win, it's because of the work I put in. If I fail, it's because of the work I didn't put in. Or, it's always the judge's opinion, but, just stepping on that stage in itself is a win. And I'm the one in control. If you're on a baseball team, it could have been the pitcher's fault. It could have been the catcher's fault. It could have been, third base's fault or whatever. But bodybuilding to me it's me against me and it's me on that stage. So to me, it's just, I'm comfortable up there. I feel at home up there.
Yeah. Cause I think like it is a team sport in a way. Cause you have your coach, you have your trainers, everybody's involved in it, but you're the one who's going to be on stage. You're the one who has to follow the diet. You won't have to train.
I'm the one doing all the work.
Yeah, you do all the work. Everybody say, hey, do this and that, and you got to do that because
I have to execute it.
Yeah, it's a process. It takes time.
Yeah.
So now, when did you start doing the powerlifting thing? When did that came into play?
I did my first powerlifting meet in 2021. Coming out of COVID, I wanted something different. And one of the bodybuilding organizations that I am actually a pro in, the owner of that organization is also a power lifter. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, Kent Beerley is his name, by the way. ANBF is the organization that he runs. I reached out to him. I said, hey, Kent, I'm thinking about doing powerlifting. Would you be my coach? So he wrote me a program. I signed up for one that he was hosting in New Jersey. Trained all the way through, ended up not being 100% happy with the tail end of my coaching process. I felt like he kind of lost track of me because he was in New Jersey and I was in New York, and was just like, oh yeah, we should have made these changes and I didn't make them in time. So let's just kind of run with what we have. So I ended up actually finding another coach who is now my fiance, who had trained the Paralympics powerlifting team. So I started out as his personal trainer. And then when he found out I was doing powerlifting, he's like, hey, I used to coach powerlifting. Do you want me to take over your coaching? So he took over my coaching and has been my coach ever since for both sports, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
What's your
my first
fiance-
powerlifting meet was a full meet. It was squat, bench, and deadlift. My bench has always been my strongest lift. I just don't have the legs, the power in my legs to squat and deadlift heavy.
I know some ladies that they don't like doing bench because especially into the chest because squats. I think some women love squats because women have a stronger lower half compared to men. We're upper body. We can put on the muscle here, like that. But y'all ladies, y'all got stronger ladies because you just I think because your hips and everything else is involved in it. So what's your fiance's name? How long y'all been together?
Marty is his name. We've been together for a long time.
What is he over there? Come on here, Marty. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on, now, get your courage, boy. Come on here, son. Sit down here. This is your woman. Come on here. Come on, son. Come on down here, son. Like I say in the South, come on down here, son.
This is my.
How you doing, Mr. Marty? How you doing?
Good.
You love this woman?
Huh?
You love this woman?
Yeah. Somebody's got to put up with her. What craziness?
And how long y'all been together?
A little over 3 years now.
Yeah.
And you saw her through hell and high water.
Yeah. She's not dead yet.
He puts up with my craziness. But yeah, he does all my coaching. He does all my powerlifting coaching. He does all my bikini, my bodybuilding coaching. He does it all.
And you ever been powerlifting too? Because you said you did the Paralympics for a long time.
I actually learned training back with Louis Simmons years and years and many years ago because I'm super old, and actually went with a couple of his coach that turned into coaches from him. So between college to after college, I've never gone heavy stage, but pulled over 7, squatted over 7, just lacked the bench. So pushing for the bench now.
Well, when I was 16, I was doing 350 on the bench. And I remember guys coming to me. I used to play football in high school, and guy come and say, "Son, George, you cock strong." I say, "What do you mean by that? You ever had some?" I say, "No." I say, "That's why you cock strong." But yeah. But thank you, sir, for coming through, and thank you for your support for her. I know you're a little nervous. You're he's a behind scene man. He didn't want to be getting too much attention.
Yeah. Couldn't do it without him.
Yeah, that's good because I know this is about the sport, especially in bodybuilding, any kind of sport. It's tough, especially being a couple. And he's doing your bodybuilding and your powerlifting, and sometimes relationships. Oh, there goes your little doggy. What's his name?
Yeah. Just getting into trouble.
But so much involvement, and it's good to have somebody who can help you with that, especially in a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I can be a handful sometimes. I'm supposed to just do what I'm told and keep my, because also being a personal trainer, I have my opinions, I have my views, I have my own knowledge, and sometimes the way he wants me to do things isn't necessarily how I would have one of my clients do it. So I, tend to kind of buck the system a little bit, but he's like, you have to trust me just like your clients trust you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. It's most important. You have to trust somebody because you're working with somebody, building their body, also try to understand the factors of being an athlete, or just somebody who's like most of your clients are they like different types. You do athletes and people just want to come in for health and wellness reasons.
Yeah. I have the whole gamut. I have a 92-year-old lady. I go visit her in her home. She's got dementia. So we have a lot of fun with that, but yeah. And then I have, I've got younger clients. I've got a girl that's training to get in shape for her wedding. I don't do just athletes. I do the whole gamut.
It's good. I mean, I can say my mother, she has dementia. I know it's tough. She wasn't as bad, but it was tough, dealing with it. And you doing what you're doing, helping her out. That's pretty good. And this young lady getting ready for a wedding, she's gonna says, "I'm married now," and she's gonna invite you. Most definitely, she gotta invite you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm invited.
Yeah. That's good. When you put all that time to her, getting her in shape for his wedding, and she don't bite you. So, folks, what we're gonna do
She's
is
been a client. She's been a client of mine for a couple of years. Actually, she's young. She's in her early 20s, so she's been a client of mine since. Oh my God, I went to her high school graduation.
Oh God, like I said, I remember high school. That was like practically 30 years ago for me. I mean, shit, time flies. You look at these kids, and when they grow up, and you say, I remember you were a baby. Now, right now, you like, God, it's crazy. So, folks, while we got here, Briana here, we're going to jump into her social media. If you want to follow her, and you're interested in maybe working with her, because she also said she's a trainer, the links of her information is in the live stream of the description of the live stream. You can check her out. Also, she's on YouTube. So, it's one of the things I often say. I'm often aware of my surroundings at all time. I learned that from my master Ra's al Ghul, the demon's head. So, and if you want to follow her, her links are in the description of this live. But guys, be respectful. It's a nice lady. She took time here to talk with me. Don't be weird. Come on, guys. I know you guys out there. So, So we're going to jump here into her social media for a little bit. You want to follow her again. Her descriptions are in the live stream. And I saw a video here that you at the Arnold Amateurs last year. What was that experience like for you?
I did bikini at the Arnold Amateur last year. Yeah. It was amazing. It was a dream come true for me. The Arnold was a dream come true.
You ever get to meet Arnold? Because I know, he's sometimes walk around and be around here and there.
I haven't had the chance to meet him, but I've seen him multiple times walking around. Yep. And he gets up and he gives like lectures and speeches and things like that. So I have been in his presence. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I grew up watching the movies like everybody else. I like Arnold and other, but one thing I don't have a problem with is politics when it comes to certain divisions. That's women's bodybuilding and women's physique and figure. I just have an issue with that. But that's just me. Here you are. This is at Universal Studios. Was that a vacation, family vacation?
I was actually down there for the NPC Women's Workshop. That was last weekend, 2 weekends ago.
I think it was last weekend because
it was last weekend. I always lose track of time. Everything goes so fast.
I understand.
My schedule is, I'm scheduled basically for the rest of the year. My training schedule and everything is set for the rest of the year. So time just flies for me.
Yeah. And what's your training like? What's the thing that you work on the most, especially as a competitor?
It depends on what phase and what I'm training for. Right now, because we're training for bench in the Arnold, it's a lot of, upper body work, a lot of shoulders and chest, tricep, bicep stuff. I do have 3 leg days a week because we are still trying to build my legs for bikini and my glutes for bikini. So it's kind of lower body training for bikini, upper body training for powerlifting, which I've been told by many judges that I need to stop doing upper body because my upper body is a little too big for bikini. I need to come in a little bit softer up top. But, I love to powerlift and I'm not willing to give up my bench. And we can always bring me in softer up top.
Yeah. I think that's the reason why they're bringing in the new fit model division, because the girls in bikini now are starting to look like the women when figure first started out.
Yes.
It's just because they don't want y'all to have too much round details in the cap shoulders. They don't want y'all glutes to be too styrated. They don't want y'all to have full developed abs. They want you to have that nice, smooth, natural bikini look. But like any division, bikini has evolved because of the extreme culture of bodybuilding, the muscle development, some ladies who even, who stepped away from certain divisions because they thought this division fits them. It changed the look. Like even with women's physique, a lot of women came from women's bodybuilding to physique because they would come from that division. It changed the vision of physique.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. We kind of toyed around with the idea of me going up to figure, but I mean, as big as my upper body is, it's not anywhere near where I would have to be for figure. Mm-hmm. And, my legs are still always a work in progress. My legs are always what the judges tell me. You need to bring up your legs. So if my legs aren't big enough for bikini, they're definitely not going to be good enough for figure.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing wellness?
I definitely do not have the lower half for wellness whatsoever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you have.
When I'm lean down and dieted down, I lose my whole lower body.
Yeah, I think one thing with wellness, you have to have those very strong Afro aesthetics. That's why so many of the Brazilian competitors do so well because they do have they're more bigger in the lower half, they're thicker in the waist and the thighs. It's
Yeah.
kind of a division where it takes a piece of like bikini from the upper part and a little piece from maybe figure and physique as the lower part.
Well, I think wellness is even more developed than bodybuilding and figure. They're not as cut. They don't have the deep striations and deep cuts, but those wellness girls, their glutes are way bigger than any bodybuilder on stage.
Yeah, I've seen.
That's my opinion anyway. But again, you're also looking at, okay, look at the enhanced athletes versus the non-enhanced athletes. It's two totally different looks. It's two totally different worlds. The judging criteria is the same, but just what the judges are looking for is different. You look at the Yorton Cup, which is the Olympia, if you will, of the natural side of bodybuilding through OCB. And then you look at the Olympians. Like first place and first place in the same exact category look completely different. So you have to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And this is one of my big things that I always tell people. Okay, if you're into the bodybuilding world, everyone compares themselves to, Chris Bumstead and, Laura Lee and, Cynthia and all those people. It's like, okay, you as a natural athlete cannot compare yourself to that person. You can't. You're never going to get there naturally. And, that's one of the things I had to make peace with doing this sport is, okay, I know I'm competing against enhanced athletes as a natural athlete, but I'm going to bring the best package I can bring to stage the way I'm comfortable doing it. And if I'm on stage standing next to a girl who's on something, so be it. That's her choice and this is my choice. And I have nothing against people that do it. I'm not judging by any means. Everybody has their thing. It's me. I'm not willing to go that far. The health risks in it are too much. There's too many side effects. There's the healthiest you want to try and do it. There's going to be something, whether it's a year from now, 10 years from now. It's just going to happen, whether it be something small or something large. And again, and I apologize if I'm pissing anybody off. This is just
no, you're not. Hey, this is my channel. If you piss someone off, I don't give a damn. They can stay pissed off.
Well, I don't want to upset anybody. I'm just
this is one thing like this. It's the purpose of life is not make everybody else upset, make yourself happy. If they're upset, that's their problem, not yours. You gotta live for you. You can't live for nobody else. Like I said again, people, you need to live for yourself. You can't make everybody happy. Even if you try to make some happy, like to quote my man Buddy Mac, fuck them. That's all it is. But I understand, like the thing is, like, especially when I know people who I got a friend, she told me she was approached by a bikini competitor about taking Anavar or any kind of a steroid. I say, what, bikini? I mean, I'm looking cross-eyed at it. But I know it's a lot harder for your natural competitors to put on the size compared to enhanced. It takes you maybe a good full year to get even 5 pounds naturally, compared to enhanced competitors who might take, more than barely 4 or 5 months to put on 10 pounds.
Yeah, but it's not just the muscle putting on. It's dropping the body weight too.
It's dropping.
It's dropping the body fat. I'm 46 years old. I'm in early stages of menopause. My body does not want to lose any body fat whatsoever. Fighting it naturally, it's a battle. Is there stuff I could take that would make me lose body fat just like that? Absolutely. Am I willing to do it? No, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, like me and Marty, we're men. I'm in my 50s. We don't have to worry about that. We have to worry about that menopause stuff. Yeah, that Marty. But you live with her, so you have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because women, this thing about bodybuilding, women, y'all bodies are different compared to men. We can put on muscle a lot easier. We can grow the muscle. Women, y'all are, like I said, nurturers. You're supposed to be soft. You carry our children. You have a higher BMI. It takes you a lot longer to put off that fat. And then when you lose it, it can be at a dangerous level. Like I know some ladies that even if they are taking enhancements, it can affect how they grow and develop. Like always, the side effects of with steroid uses, the square chin. Your voice gets deeper. One day you sound like Sandy Duncan, the next day you sound like Vin Diesel from Fast and the Furious. Be a yard or a mile, a win to win. But that's the thing about any athlete. You want to get to that level. You want to work hard. You want to be the best at what you do. And if it's something you need to take, like this is a true story. I remember I was watching this thing, this sports expert. He talked about how they tested a group of Olympic athletes. And they tell them, if you heard it, he said, if we give you this pill and it helps you run faster, go higher, win awards, win trophies, but it shortened your lives by 5 years, would you take it? And they all said yes. Because
and for what? It's a trophy. You're talking about the rest of your life.
But the thing is, life.
I get a little worked up. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. That's why I like people.
Calm down.
That's why I like you. I like you, Briana, because you know what? It's great to have passion. It's great to have anarchy and chaos. Because you know what? It makes you complete. And I know it completes me.
Yeah, I'm a redhead. I got that spunk.
I know I had quite a few redheads out here, y'all. I think y'all redheads are just very amazing, So, but that's the thing is, like anything worth having, even if it shortens your life. That's the thing with any athletes. They put it to the side. They just want that glory. That's what they live for. Some people don't want to die in obscurity. They just want the opportunity for glory.
Yeah. I don't understand it. I don't. If I love the sport, I love what I do, but is it worth risking my health and the rest of my life? No, it's not. Because in the end, who's going to remember me? It's going to be my family. It's not going to be, because I won a trophy. I'm not ever going to be to the level where I go down in history as an elite athlete. I'm not going to be, a gold medal winner in the Olympics. Like my name is never going to be there. And I'm okay with that because I do the sport for me. I do the sport because I love the sport. I love the process. I love to see what my body is capable of doing on its own. And we're like, human body's capable of doing amazing things. We as women, we grow another human being inside of us, for God's sakes. Like, how is that not amazing? How can my body not do amazing things on its own?
Yeah, I can tell you, it's a thing about the human body. It's an amazing tool. It's capable of so much. There's like one thing that there's way more potential, but we haven't really touched yet because we're still evolving as humans.
Exactly.
We had a couple of people come in. This is my brother, XA Gucci 23. Shout out to XA. It says, hi, George, Paige, and Briana. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Also, we have here the man who did the interview where I got to meet you. The one and only Mr. KL, the Wanderer. He says, hey, good evening, George and Briana. Thank you, brother. And we appreciate that. So, yeah, as an athlete, it's, like this, isn't anybody you really follow in the sport that you're a fan of?
I love my Laura Lee. I've been down and trained with her and Aldo down in Fort Lauderdale. She's a very sweet person. I feel like she's an authentic person. She actually decided not to do the Arnold this year because of her, she wants longevity in the sport. So she pulled out for whatever her health reasons are. She didn't disclose those, but she did disclose for longevity in the sport. She decided not to do the honor. And I told her, because I actually talked to her at the women's workshop. I said, I'm proud of you for pulling out, for not pushing yourself too hard. Because you felt like you just keep, now you have that title, you need to keep going and going and going and going. And, your body has to have that time to rest and recover and come back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, competitors get burned out. I mean, I know Nick Walker was supposed to compete in Olympia one year. He had to drop out because of injury or this or that.
Yeah.
I know one year, I remember Ashley Jones, the lady who I follow, she had to drop out. She was sick and, she was there and she had to drop out. It's important to really invest your life in your longevity. But like I said, most athletes, they want that opportunity, they want that big win. If it's not the Arnold, it's going to be something like the Olympia. And as you know, one person I'm a fan of, and you met her, recently at the Arnold Classic, and that is the lovely Mrs. Andrea Shaw.
Yes, she was at the women's workshop. She was there.
Yes, I saw. She did a little thing where she was talking about how she had her vision board and she cut off Sid Gillen's head and put her head on it. I mean, you go to my IG, it's there. I repost it. I think she's an amazing woman. I always like to do this because one thing is that quote from my man, my other half, he says, if you're good at something, never do it for free. And often I say this because this is why I enjoy doing what I do. This is my payment. A friend of mine was at the Olympia at 2023. Her name is Eunice Kitchen. She runs Bad Rap. It's a clothing line dedicated to women in bodybuilding. She got me this issue of muscle development. And not only this issue, this is why I'm in Amber and in love with Andrea. She signed it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. She told me she appreciated my support and she loves me. I love her.
I will say that everyone I've met in the sport has such an amazing personality. You know, everybody's so kind and so friendly and so just willing to help each other out. Like even backstage, like the girls are back there helping each other out. You need makeup. Do you need shoes? I was at a show one time and one of the girls forgot her shoes. Like that's an essential thing. You have to have your shoes. So I let her borrow mine. I said, as long as you have them back to me by the time I have to go on stage, you can wear my shoes. You know? And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was like, girl, you put all this hard work in. I'd be hell if you ain't going to go on stage because you forgot your jam shoes. But everybody in the sport is so nice and so kind. And, you know, it just being able to talk to people and share your journey and share your struggles, you know, what's the hardest part of prep for you? Oh, what are you looking forward to, you know, in the off season? You know, what are your vices? What's your favorite thing about your prep? What do you hate most about your prep? You know, it's just, everybody is so friendly and so willing to share just everything. It's great.
Well, as I was saying, one of my favorite was this cartoon you love called Eat the Cat. He said, it never hurts to help. And that's true. It never hurts to help somebody who might need it. I know stories ladies say, okay, they might, you know, one time she told me her pose suit broke on her and a friend of her let her borrow one because she had an extra. And, you know, it's good to have that camaraderie and that sisterhood. But sometimes we all know there's always those people, you know, who might say they're kind of petty, they're haters, they have issues. But, you know, bodybuilding is so competitive. Especially when you're in a division where it's a very stacked division. I know I talked to a lady that she was at Universe last year. It was like 60 competitors.
Yeah.
It's a very deep division. I mean, you know, said again, I'm not a fan of bikini as much. This is my thought of it. But I have interviewed competitors in the division, and I respect y'all ladies' passion. Because that's one thing for y'all women, you have to do it as a passion. For the men, you know, there's more opportunities because, you know, this is how I say it like this. The men's division, like men's open, excuse my language, man, it's the bottom bitch. It's the one that gets attention, gets the money. And the guys, all they have to do is wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. While you ladies, it's more expensive to compete. The cost of your hair, your makeup, your suits. I know I sent you that link for that suit because I know some ladies, sometimes they might want to need a suit. They want to find something costly. So it's good that you have a suit designer. That's like, what's the suit designer name and how long y'all know each other?
Sizzle Design is who she is. Jamie, I've known Jamie for, oh my God, 10, 15 years. A long time. I've known her a long time.
Yeah. I know you wear because if you go to social media, there's a picture of her in a blue suit. And that's the suit she designed for you?
My purple one? Yes.
Purple, yep. That was a blue. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean,
she did my purple one. She did my green one. I have a black one that she made for me. She's made me, I think she's made me 3 purple suits because purple's my color. Purple's my color. The judges love me in purple. I love me in purple.
So you're like Prince.
Yes. Yes.
This thing about Prince.
The purple is the color of royalty.
Yeah, Prince is a bad boy. Any man who wear high heels will take your girl.
Yeah.
You know, there's a video of him doing performance. He's wearing a pair of bikini underwear on stage and high heels. No man can do that. no straight man can do it, and he is. You gotta respect Prince. I love Michael, but Prince was a bad boy. I gotta give him that. You know, anytime you think about Purple, you think about Prince. And what was the critique from the judges after the Arnold amateurs?
Stop doing upper body and bring up your legs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was their feedback. Which I've heard. Legs has always been the thing. Even back in 2009, my legs have always been my issue since day one. My upper body puts on muscle so fast, but my legs just don't, for whatever reason. Years, even with all the heavy powerlifting and stuff, it has taken me so long to put any sort of good muscle on my legs. A long time. And they don't lean out well either. Like my legs hold all kinds of fat in the back. If you go back and look at the videos and the pictures from the Arnold or any of my shows, I always hold fat right in the back of my legs. It's the way my body does it.
You think maybe something genetic, in your family,
It could be. Genetics does play a lot into it. I am one of those women that is blessed to build muscle quickly on my upper body. And also, my lower body doesn't grow.
Yeah, I know. I think with powerlifting, a lot of ladies in bodybuilding do it. It's kind of interesting to see a bikini competitor do it because they don't want you to. Except again, you're putting out more size in the upper part because there's more upper body work in powerlifting. Like you got to do deadlifts, you got to do bench presses. You say you're not too good at squats, and that's the thing you need to work on. You have to work on your weaknesses and improve on your strengths. I know some ladies, they hate to pull back, especially if they love upper body days. I know, like when you're training, what's that favorite workout when you're gym? What's that favorite you love? And that one you say, damn, I don't want to do this shit.
The days that I don't want to do?
Yeah.
Or the days I do want to do?
Which one you love to do when you don't want to do?
Oh, I love doing bench. I love my chest days. And I love my glute days. I have 3 leg days a week. And I love my glute days, which is Friday. So Tuesday's bench, Friday's glutes. I would say if there's one day I really don't like to do, I would say maybe quads. Quads are not my favorite. I don't know. I really can't explain why, just because I hate leg extensions. Marty made me do 500 leg extensions one day, and I've hated them ever since.
Marty!
There is a video out there of me doing 500 leg extensions. Yeah.
Marty!
Yeah, he's so mean. I cried.
He's so mean. How dare you?
It was fun. I whined a lot.
He's like that Ivan, like the Rocky movies, Ivan Drago. I must break you. You're like, you cry. Yeah, I know people. Most ladies don't like leg day, but more often, most
I don't mind my hamstring and glute days. I like my hamstring and glute days. Quads days just aren't my favorite for some reason. I don't know why.
Everybody has their things they hate, the things they like. They said, and like I said, you one of the few women who say they love bench.
I love to bench. I've always loved to bench, though. Like I've always had a really good bench. Even back before I started powerlifting, I think my heaviest bench before I was powerlifting was like 165.
No.
Tell if he wants to say something, tell him to come in the camera and say something, not say in the background, or he's still scared.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I went 165 back with Mike once, like forever ago.
Okay.
I have it in a notebook somewhere.
Don't, Marty, sit in the back seat. We don't need to hear you. You're not gonna come in the camera.
He's actually working. He's working.
Working. Okay, cool. That's cool. Do you work, man? Do you work? But next time, hey, keep in the back seat. But
I know.
It's tough. Like any person who works on that, like I said, I love when I do a bench. I was like, by the time I was 16, 17, I was already doing about 400, and my weakest was incline. I was barely 300. Now squats was on like 550. I used to love. But when I quit playing football because I got a job, got a real world. I couldn't work out and do like I used to. But yeah, as you grow and develop as an athlete and the process and understanding the factors of it, and especially instead again going back to the fact that you are a woman, and and you have kids. How old are your babies?
My son is 28.
Yeah, 28. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. At 50, anybody's still a baby. So, and like I said, does he ever go to your shows and go support his mommy?
Oh, all the time. Yep. He was always at my first ones, but because I travel so much now, it's harder for him to go. But he did go up to the one I did in Niagara Falls, which was actually my last bikini for the season, I think. Right? It was my last bikini show for 2024 was in Niagara Falls, and they came up, my family came up and watched, and it was great. I love having him there, but he's like, Mom, it's the same thing. You're standing on stage in a bikini.
Well, I don't know if at that age and you see your mom and you're like I said, Briana, you're a very appealing woman. You have a nice body, and I don't know if I want to be around and someone say, "Who's that redhead in the bikini?" Yeah, I say, that's my mom. That's my mom. And you got Marty.
I remember going to his job one time when he was in high school, and I had just left the gym, so I had like a tank top or something on. And I walk in to bring him something. I don't remember what it was, but apparently after I left, all the guys were talking about it. And he's like, Mom, don't ever come to my job again. It's like, sorry.
Here's the thing is,
no, I just got tired of hearing how hot you were.
you went there wearing a tank top. You're built like you're an Amazon goddess in front of teenage boys.
I don't look at myself like that. I am just me.
No. You're in front of teenage boys. Marty was a teenage boy. I was a teenage boy. I remember there was this teacher. She used to be a dance teacher. She was built like Coke bottle shape. She used to sometimes we'd be like after lunch, we see her, we just look at her. We don't care. You may not think of it, but we don't care. I know you got you're his mom. He don't want somebody. He don't want somebody drooling, slobbering his mom. Say, what's your boy's name?
Sean.
Sean said, "Hey, Sean, is your mom going to come over to, or they might come over and say, hey, Miss Hills, we just come here to hang out with Sean. We just want to, and you're practicing doing your pose in your bikini. Like they're sitting there eating cookies and like, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm way too modest for that. I am a very modest person. Like, despite what my social media portrays, I am a very modest person. I walk around completely covered up. At work, I am in a big hoodie. Half of my clients don't know what I look like outside of my hoodie because I don't work out where I work, where I train my clients. I work out at a completely different gym. So unless they're on my social media or happen to catch me working out for some strange reason, none of them know what I hide under my sweatshirt.
Yeah, you're very careful.
I'm a very modest person.
Yeah, Sean's friend said, Sean, how can we follow you? Say, who's that hot chick in the red hair? Is that your girlfriend, Sean? I said, no, it's my mom. Sean, but yeah, that's the thing is that y'all ladies who built your bodies, this is the thing about society. They don't think women with muscle is a very beautiful, attractive thing. They're not very appealing to the mindset of everyday people. When it's even women like yourself, who is a bikini competitor, because any little bit muscle, that's not the norm for a woman to have. They often will make comments like, why are you trying to be so muscular? Why are you trying to be like a man? Yeah. Here's the thing is, you're not trying to be a man. You're an athlete in your sport. And this is the process you go and develop. Being a man is not something physical. It's something the mind state, the time you take to grow and train and work. Like me, I came up, I was, one of 6 out of 9 in my family. I worked, did this. I had held 2 jobs at one time. I mean, it took me time to be at this point now in my life. But being a man is not a physical thing. You are an athlete. You train, you work hard, you really are focused on your goals as that. But that's the thing about society. But also there's a flip of that too. There's those guys out there. I know my crime, Briana, I am a muscle person. Like, y'all ladies just intoxicate me. Y'all just excite me. But I have really kind of calmed down my my behavior. And I learned things from when I do these interviews and I talk to you ladies. I understand what y'all do this for a passion. Like I said, bodybuilding is not, especially as an amateur, it's not a lot of profit. You got to pay to do the shows. You got to go do this, hair and makeup. Your posing suit sometimes can cost you a car note or mortgage or rent. But you have to do sport for a passion. And most people don't have that mindset to do what y'all do. Get up in the morning, to train, to stick to a diet, to be consistent, to be disciplined. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if it could change at a flip of the wing. You could,
Yeah.
like, we had a little snow here in North Carolina. If it snows half an inch, everything shuts down.
Yeah.
Some people, if they don't care, they still go to the gym. They still, go run if they have to because they want to get ready for a coming show, or just stay in shape. Even they may say, "Let me take the year off so I can grow a little bit, and then jump on and see how I do for the next season."
Yeah, but you're still not off. That's the thing, is people talk about an off season. If you're a competitor, off season is still on season because you're still training, you're still, eating healthy, you're still doing the workouts, you're still putting in the work. Just because you're not dieting like a crazy person, cutting back your calories, if you're in a growing season, that's still a season of bodybuilding. If you're a bodybuilder or in the physique world and you do it for the passion of it, you do show after show, year after year, there's no off season. It's show season and it's building season. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think
You're still in a season. So there's no off season.
unless you
Building
retire.
It's still on season. That's the way I look at it anyway.
Well, everybody, especially had the terminologies we talk about, especially being bodybuilders. Got a good friend of mine coming through, my man, Dennis Espinoza. He says, "Go, George." Thank you, brother. And, I appreciate it. My man, Dennis Espinoza, AKA, I call him the Ham the King, Warden of the West. He's from Texas, a great guy. He, we've been, social media friends for a long time. Maybe one day we get to meet. And that's the thing is that there's so much involved in it, the work, the diet, the all that's involved in the training, the practice. And also, again, we go back to the diet. I know one thing as bodybuilder, you have to eat certain things because you just can't eat everything. I had ladies told me like they, when they first started, they were eating 1,000, carbs a day, or they eat like so many of this or so many of that, or they try to keep the water intake, and also the thing is that certain foods you can't, eat because especially when you're training, when you I know sometimes you and Barney are at home and you can't always go out. We just had the holidays this past Christmas and Thanksgiving, and we go to events that you have to bring your own food because you can't eat what's there because you have to stick to your diet.
100%. Yep. I travel with food all the time. I don't go anywhere without food.
Yeah. And food is the most important
part.
It's
interesting because being a powerlifter too, a lot of powerlifters don't stay as lean as I do. I compete in the 160 kilo class, which is 132 pounds. I can't weigh any more than 132 pounds. And my stage weight on stage is 10 pounds less than that. So I have to maintain a 10-pound between powerlifting and bikini, which coach said, which, for powerlifting, I usually come in a little bit lighter. I usually come in 130-ish. So, my bikini diet or my bodybuilding diet is basically the same as my powerlifting diet, just slightly increased calories. So my caloric intake right now, because we're in powerlifting season, is 2,200 calories. My bikini season is 1,600 to 1,800 calories. So you're not talking about there's not a lot of leeway there for me anyway. Which is, a lot of powerlifters will go and they'll eat, I don't know, whatever the hell they want. And then, cut weight by trying to shed water or whatever. There's a little bit of, food manipulation there, but a lot of them don't stay nearly as lean, even in my weight class, as I do.
Yeah. If you look at most of the guys, the big, gruff, huge guys like Marty, even bigger, some of the women, like, especially I know quite a few female bodybuilders, like one lady I follow, Angela Yo. She does a lot of powerlifting. There's also, I think, one lady, she used to be, I interviewed a while back. Her name is she, Rita West. She used to be a powerlifter. Now she's bodybuilding. And some of them usually transition out of powerlifting because one thing I often hear, you do powerlifting too long, it can blow your waist out. And if you're doing like divisions like, physique, where you have to have that more taper look, even figure, or also bikini, that's the thing about it. Aren't you concerned about that?
I blew my waist out. I did. Yep. So now I have to be very careful. That's one of the reasons I stopped squatting and deadlifting, is because my waist got a little big. Still a little blocky. We're still trying to fight that battle and bring it back in. So, I always have a belt or a waist trainer on. Anytime I'm training, I've always got it on. Bring that waist back in, build up my back a little bit, bring out my lats a little bit to make my waist look a little bit smaller. But I did. And I didn't even know it could happen. I wasn't even aware that was something that could happen.
Well, like I said, I often feel like this. You have to be aware of surroundings of all kinds. You never get a sure feeling for a killing blow. We have here comes my man, Dennis Espinosa. Shout out to Dennis. Thank you, brother. Coming through says, putting into work, dedicated to your craft, only way to reach your potential. Thank you, brother. And also he says, all blessings. I appreciate that. Also, we got another dude coming in, my man, Balls Deep. He never misses a live stream. Shout out to Balls Deep. Here he goes. He says, good evening, gorgeous. He's a fan.
Hi.
Also, he says, smash the like button. Also, he's one of his other articles. He says, also, salute to the chat. Thank you, brother. And also one more, he says, Schmo Gang. He said, wait a minute, this one's kind of fast. He's typing so fast. It says, Schmo Gang, 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 gang. And also he says this, he says, peace and blessings, beautiful. Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And he says it, you are beautiful. So go
check out my YouTube channel. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yes, guys. If the link is, especially on YouTube, it's harder to, especially I do most of my content on bodybuilding, especially on women's bodybuilding. The algorithms for YouTube is not as good compared to other things. Like, there's other people who do stuff, like there's a female bodybuilding channel, there's DD on the Spot, my man KL, there's David Briana of Female Bodybuilding Forum, there's Claudio over Hardcore Female Bodybuilding. Everybody pays more attention to the divisions, like, particularly you're in the division where I call it one of the TNA divisions. Bikini, that's a T. Yeah. The other is the A, that's wellness. But I think people pay more attention to the men because everybody likes the big, freaky, muscular guys. Everybody likes the Sans Duas or the big Ramis or those guys. But like this, my channel about you ladies, because I've been a fan of women bodybuilding. I like the guys too. But, as I said again, I was growing in my competitive age, and I saw young ladies, I was just something just different. And this is why I like to talk to you ladies and get your feedback and your thoughts, and even just really know what inspires anyone, especially a woman, to get into such a very extreme sport like bodybuilding. Like I said again, there's not a lot of reward. If you're lucky enough to turn pro, that's good. And then when you turn pro, we had a conversation. I do tomorrow. I have a podcast. We always so often we talk about stuff. Last week we talked about the whole issue with pro status, because they tell you if you don't check it every 3 years, you may not be a pro. If you don't, this and that, and there's so much involved in it. The question is, to yourself, is it worth doing this sport with so little risk and so much risk and so little reward?
If you love the sport for the sport and you love the process, I say yes. I say yes. You do it for the love of the sport. You do it for the challenge, because you're never going to make back what you put in. Even the Olympians, that get $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for winning. I guarantee they probably spend more than that on their prep. And, I do want to say something about the comment you said about women, it costing women more than it costs men. I don't agree with that, because yes, we have the hair, we have the makeup, we have the suit, but the guys have to eat a lot more than we do. And with the food costs right now, I know what my grocery bill is a week. I couldn't even imagine the guys that are eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories at a time. Like, I would say in the end, it probably plays out.
Well, still, they just got to pay a $30, $40, $50 banana hammock, while y'all got to pay like maybe a $2,000 shoot. That kind of even out, but still, I think it does cost y'all just a little tad more because you got to throw in high heels. You got to. Like I said, let's agree to disagree. But like
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But I'm like I said, I'm a fan of y'all ladies.
You know, we do it. At least I do it. I do it for the love of the sport.
Yeah, that's what ladies tell me. You do it for love of it. You have to love it because you know what. You have to love this sport because you do just say, unless you're the lucky few, like Andrea, who can, get sponsorship, or, Seth Duke can walk away with like nearly $500,000, almost $500,000. I like this. I would say for your athletes, y'all deserve some little health benefits, anything like that. If you do a show and you win your overall, you should get your prize money back. That's something you can use in your pockets down the road. Benefits. We turn pro. As a pro, we should get some kind of help and assistance because you know what, we don't go to the shows to come see the judges or the promoters. We come see y'all. And if anything, you should invest your athlete, just like any mainstream sport. I got a friend. He does my podcast named Big Kick Williams, IFB Pro men's bodybuilder. He used to play football. He still gets a pension from the league. For all the years he was in for at least 7-8 years. He still gets a pension. When you finish your bodybuilding, what's there is this. Hey, if you're lucky enough to get a pro card, that's about it. There's so much involved in it. Like, and again, this is why I do these interviews because I really want to get a viewpoint that people need to understand. I used to remember when I was coming up, bodybuilding used to be on television. You can catch it on, ESPN. You can catch it on. I saw one thing. I think I sent to you was like a lady. Her name is Louise Plum. She's from Great Britain. She's a pro, and she posted how is bodybuilding not considered a sport where you looking at something like darts or cornhole or poker. Bowling, I give it a little bit because friend Keith was doing some bowling. He was in a tournament in a team, but it's just bodybuilding. It seems this fringe sport because everybody always one thing they're always going to put at bodybuilding because you don't do it because you're a natural competitor is the issue of steroids and pads because that's why it's harder for them to get attention. But steroids in every other sport. Like I do content, also do content on women mixed martial arts and MMA, and they get busted in that. Box got busted in, but they overlook those sports. But always demonize bodybuilding more. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's a hazard of the sport. Are you going to change the politics of it? Maybe. But, like I said, in the end, you do it because you love it. You love the process. Sometimes the process sucks, but, and it's the same with powerlifting. Powerlifting, yes, it's considered a sport, but do the organizations invest in their athletes? No. Will the pro powerlifters, Jen Thompson holds 110 world records. Woman's 50 some years old, holds 110 world records. She's been doing it for years. Is she going to get a pension from it? No, she's a teacher. That's where she makes her money. She's a teacher. Bodybuilding isn't something that is made to do for a living. I guess it's a little bit different now because you do have the sponsorships. You have, the companies that are willing to sponsor you and the side perks of it, I guess. But if for your health reasons, you can't do it for a living for the rest of your life. It's not health. Bodybuilding is the most unhealthy sport there is. If you really look at it, yes, are we eating healthy? But are we're depriving our bodies of certain, nutrients because we eat such a strict diet. If you're eating the same thing day in, day out, weeks, months on end, your body's going to be lacking something because it's not getting it from food. You can't supplement it enough. We're dieting down so hard, taking our bodies to, unhealthy fat levels. Our bodies weren't designed to be that lean, to be as lean as we get. That's why you can't maintain that even after the show. It's not healthy. you're pumping yourself full of water. You're, and then dehydrating yourself if you do a water deplete. Some people do, some people don't. You can drink a gallon of water a day and be dehydrated. Why? Because you're flushing all the nutrients, all the electrolytes out of your body because you're drinking so much water. You have to put that back into your body. If you don't know that, that's not one of the things that you learn going through the sport, which I didn't know. My first couple of shows, I would have my blood work done. They're like, you're dehydrated. I'm like, I drink a gallon of water a day. How am I dehydrated? Like, how's that possible? Okay. So I'm thinking, all right, maybe I need to drink more water. Well, no, it's because I'm drinking so much. I'm flushing everything out of my body. So you've got to put all that back in. Mm-hmm. There's just these things about bodybuilding that people on the outside looking in don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's, that's why podcasts like this and YouTube things like this is so good, because you get that knowledge out there.
Yeah. Because I point this out because, when we go to, like, people like myself, I remember my first bodybuilding show. Actually, I got to see Andrea. She was guest posing at my first bodybuilding show. That's great. But we go to your show and we see y'all competitors up there. We see y'all on the stage, your tange and your suits, your vascular. We don't understand what it took you to get there. Dehydration, tired. Sometimes I've seen videos of women fainting on stage. I know a lady I interviewed a while back. She fainted at the Olympia. That was like about 20 years ago. She was competing in the Olympia. She fainted, had to carry her off the stage. I've seen pictures of like guys like Ronnie Coleman sitting backstage with like an oxygen mask, trying to breathe, and and there's so much involved in it. It's tough, but like I said again, if you do it because you love it, you understand that part of it. Here we got a comment from my man KL the Wanderer. Shout out to KL. Says, I tried to do bowling. I suck. Yeah, I used to bowl. I remember my she's the second. She was my mama's baby girl. She was the last of one of my sisters. She used to work at the local college here, and she used to work at the like student area. And sometimes we used to go up there and we used to go bowling a little bit. One time I was taking the bowling ball and she told my mom beat me, but I never do that again. Also, he said, I couldn't do bodybuilding since you telling me it's in your experience. Yeah, it's not for everybody. Because you know what, there's so much sacrifice, time, money, your mind, your body. This sport can be mentally, physically, emotionally, financially draining. And if you don't understand
1% of the population does bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I'm a 1%er. I can say that I'm a 1%er.
Well, not the 1%.
Not the financial stuff, but
I wouldn't
I'm
be
1%er in humanity. I am a 1%er.
Yeah, because most people don't know. Like, I know ladies say they didn't know about bodybuilding until somebody introduced it to it, and they might have heard it. Like, one thing, you think about bodybuilding, you think about two people: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, the Terminator, Incredible Hulk. That's what is bodybuilding. But there's so much more to this, like the work and the consistency and the diet and the discipline that's involved in it. And also, again, you go back to the diet, where I know after that last show, after the Arnold, what did you and Marty do? Where did you go? What was that thing that was calling you, Briana?
Oh, sushi is always my thing.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He's like, you've been living on fish and rice for weeks, and what you want is fish and rice, sushi, and then blueberry pancakes. Blueberry pancakes the next day.
Briana, you're not the first lady who told. You're not the first lady who told me you love sushi. Like I said, I grew up a poor country boy, and the one thing we never did was my mama. She did not feed us cold raw fish. All fish had to be fried or cooked. I never in my life.
I did not grow up on sushi either. I did not get into sushi till I was in my mid 30s, early 30s. Is when I got into sushi.
One thing I used to love is a thing I don't have, because one thing I was at 500 pounds and I really lost some weight. I've been eating healthy, but still, there's one thing I love. I hadn't had in a while. One day, me and my older sister and her son, my oldest nephew, went out because he had to go to see his daughter and drop some off. And we went to this Chinese place we know around the corner, and they do a buffet. And you got rice, and you got the chicken, and that, and that. And actually, you don't know this. Chinese people don't eat that stuff. We do. It's just
American Chinese.
It's not. It's just so good. You just like. I mean, just especially you just like get home and I just say, I'm not gonna eat it all. I'm just gonna eat some of it here and serve it later. It took me a couple of days to bust it down. You get that, just fill that box there. I was trying to close it. I mean, I come back in here again, so I just eat it bit by bit. So, here's this from a man, KL. He says, excuse me, I ate sushi before. I was okay, but I wouldn't eat it now. Yeah.
Sushi's not for everybody.
No, it's not everybody.
Sushi's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. I like to say not again. So now, what's the plan for 2025? What's the plan now?
So I'm doing the bench bash and masters bench at the Arnold. So I'm benching twice, actually Friday and then Sunday. And then right after Sunday, when we get back from the Arnold, I jump into bikini prep. I have my first bikini competition of 2025, 6 weeks after the Arnold. So it's a quick pull of calories in 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Which is going to be the OCB natural show in Syracuse. And then depending how that goes, a week later or 2 weeks later, I have OCB in Pittsburgh scheduled. And then I think Maryland is after that. And then we'll see where things go from there. And then July starts back to bench. I've got bench nationals in July. World bench is usually in October. That's in England. And then depending on how things go with the rest of bench season, Masters, USAPL Masters Worlds is supposed to be in Seoul, South Korea this year.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we'll see. So I'm mixing in bench and bikini and then bench. So it'll be summertime summer into early fall will probably be my bikini season, throwing in the one bench in July. So they're all mixed in there together. I have a very busy year.
Yeah, I know this year they're bringing back the Masters Olympia. They're gonna have it in Japan. That's they had it last year. Yeah, you have to qualify that, because you have to do over 40 plus, or if you have done shows the previous year where you did over 40 and you qualify, or you can apply. They have to put out the new application rules earlier last week. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot to do. Here we got a comment from my man KL. Shout out to KL. He says they have an OCB show this month in Atlantic City. I might check it out. Cool. Also,
you should check it out if you've never been. Have I been deer hunting? Deer season is over, unfortunately.
Yeah. My brother used to hunt, and then one time he got a bear.
I've always wanted
and my mom said, "Boy, don't put that bear meat in my deep freezer." He had to find someplace else to put it. But yeah, I remember my grandfather used to hunt. He had hunting dogs. I mean, I never did it because that was never my thing. I mean, I shot guns.
It's not everybody's thing.
Yeah, it's not everybody's thing. I don't know. I can.
No, but it's also how I fund a lot of my prep. A lot of my meat is venison. A lot of my red meat is venison. So
yeah. How long have you been hunting?
You can't get any leaner than that.
Yeah, I know. I remember my sister had like deer hand. Just never had a taste for it. It's just really, it has some vinegar to it.
Like
really, yeah, gamey. I'm like I said, I'm country. We had rabbit, possum, stuff like that. But never, I never had a taste for Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. I remember when I was young. This is like many Thanksgivings ago. My aunt, my father's sister, my aunt Pat, we had a duck, and me and her, we ate duck. And my mom said, "You and Pat lips were so greasy because duck is really fat."
Yeah,
it's really fat. I mean, it's more fat to it than chicken, and way more than turkey. That's why they do that turducken thing.
Yeah,
you know how you take the
turducken.
Yeah, you take and stuff the duck into the chicken. You take them into the turkey because a turkey's really dry. Yeah, and then that fat from that duck gets into it, and it really makes the duck. I never had it. I heard it's good. You ever had it?
I've never had it. No, I've never had it. I've never had duck. Not to my knowledge, anyway. I've never had duck.
Well, I hadn't had it since I was maybe a wee little boy. That's been a long time. But yeah, but hunting, that's very interesting. Like, especially, don't think a lot of women do it because, it's very, you're out there, you have to shoot something, the blood. Some girls say, oh, ew, I can't do that. That's,
I mean, it's all part of the process.
yeah. And like, let's say that, was your dad a hunter too?
Dad hunted a little bit, was more my grandfather.
Oh, kind of like mine. My grandfather's more of a hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think older people, that's how they live, especially if you have a big family, you have to feed them. So, Yeah. So anyway, the plan is to do some bench shows, some bikini shows. And you mentioned there's a OCP natural shows. This year the Pittsburgh Pro is adding a natural show for pro qualifier, but you have to do another show to be a regional. I saw posted what the show is, but you're busy. You already got your plans. You think you might want to do NPC next year, or you want to try stuff it in this year?
We're looking at the NPC national shows for this year still. I'm just waiting to see where they're going to fall in my my prep schedule because they haven't put all their dates out yet. So, we have to be careful, picking and choosing with, travel and all that too, because that all plays into it, especially with bikini. If you fly, I usually have to fly in a week ahead of time because my body retains a lot of water when I fly. So, with having the aesthetic part of it, you want to make sure you get there a week ahead of time so your body has time to acclimate to the area, acclimate to the food, because the foods are different in different places. It's so finicky. It's such a finicky sport. It really is. People don't realize.
Yeah, I know competitors who have to try to fly 2 days in advance because, especially in bodybuilding and physique, because they would tear more muscle, more water because they have more muscle.
It takes me a week to shed mine. I have to get there a week ahead of time. If they're going 2 days and I'm able to shed it, God bless you, you're lucky. Because it takes me a week. Even when we fly for powerlifting, we go a week ahead of time. No more, no minimum than 4 days, because it takes my body that long to get rid of the extra water.
Yeah. And other than you just do personal training for a living, anything else? This is why you'll be able to do more traveling because your job is more flexible?
No, personal training is all I do.
So that gives you flexible time. You can go here, do this, do that. You don't have to worry about clocking in. I remember, like I said, I held 2 jobs. One job, I used to work at a gas station when I was a kid up till I was 30. I used to work at a textile plant. I worked at a food processing plant. I worked at a strip club. I did a lot of work coming up, and it's hard to try to find a schedule.
It is. It definitely is. Yeah, I am blessed enough to, do personal training. I've been a personal trainer since 2011. It's the only thing I've done since 2011. I built my business, very good business. COVID obviously killed everything. I did retain some clients through COVID. We did Zoom sessions during COVID, and then, just slowly, I'm still trying to slowly build it back up to where it was. But, I am lucky enough to be able to make my own schedule. But again, if I'm not there with my clients, I'm not making money. If I'm not at work, I don't get paid. Yeah. That is the downfall. I don't get vacation time. I don't get sick time. I don't.
No 401k,
no 401k.
No, sick days, you say again, you can't apply for, because you're pretty much a contractor, but you just, unless you have clients. And that's the other thing. That's a good thing. I think with the pandemic, it opened up, like, this is where I started doing my interviews through StreamYard. When I started, because, after, my mom was sick and she passed away, and I didn't have anything left. And I was already doing this content, talking about you ladies, posting stuff. And then I said, you know what, maybe start reaching out doing interviews. I did a couple before my mom passed. And then really, it was something to really get connections to, because, social media, and also just getting opportunities to, to talk to you ladies. And the chance to meet in person, it was a great opportunity for me when I went to my first bodybuilding show, and to make connections and also make friendships along the way doing this. We have here some comment from my man KL says, COVID destroyed a lot of businesses. Yeah, it did, affected it, but it did,
but it also opened a lot of doors too. People got more comfortable with the virtual training, with the online training, so it opened up It opened up doors for people to be able to do online coaching.
Mhm.
You know, before COVID, I think everybody was leery of online coaching.
Yeah.
They didn't understand it. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to make it work. I still have a hard time, you know, doing some of my online coaching because I'm a hands-on person. I want to be physically with that client, making sure they're doing the movements the right way, make sure they're understanding this is why I'm having you do it. You know, it's not just, okay, let's do a set of squats. Let's do some step ups. Let's do this. No, I want to look at your body mechanics. I want to see how your body's moving. If it's not moving correctly, what do I need to do to build into your program to get your body to move correctly?
Yeah. Like,
you know, and it's hard to do that just looking through a screen.
Yeah, because a lot of competitors have to do check-ins with their coaches through virtual or through their phones. And thing is, with anything, with wars and pandemics, new technologies grow out of it. We lose people, but we get new stuff, new technologies, and new ways to work and survive. And as you said, posing. Who's your posing coach? How long have you been working with?
I've had a couple actually. So I worked with Danica, she's in Albany, which is like 2 hours from here. She's my first actual posing coach. She's through Pro Physique, which is under Paul Ravella. He's out of Tampa. He works for her company. She works for his company. So she was my first posing coach. She actually went to a couple of my shows. She was at the Arnold with me last year. And then I've been working with Laura Lee. When I was going down to train with her in Aldo, she picked up my posing, gave me a bunch of tips and stuff. Some of the video footage is up on my YouTube with her and I posing together. And then when I saw her at the women's conference last weekend, I touched base with her. I said, hey, we need to set up some posing sessions. Bikini's coming up. And she said she's actually not doing posing coaching anymore. She's moved beyond that, but she's like, if I come down, because we're discussing going back down to train with Aldo a couple of times. She's like, if you come down and train with Aldo, let me know ahead of time and I'll put you in my schedule and we'll do some posing together. So I technically don't have a posing coach right now, but I have a lot of footage from the sessions that her and I did, and I basically know what I need to do, but there's always tweaks. It's always good to have somebody else's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important. You want to get somebody who really understands all the nuances of posing. With y'all division, you just got to turn around, stick your butt. That's about it.
No, there's way more to it than that.
I'm sorry again. I am a fan of.
I know you're fine.
I can't help it. I'm prejudiced. So, but here we got a comment from my man Kev, and he says, COVID did help open doors in virtual sense. Yeah, it did. Opportunities to happen. And he also asks us, what are tips you can share about posing?
I guess it depends on what category you're talking about, but just posing in general. And this was one of the things that Cynthia actually was talking about, because she did the main speaking about posing when we were at the women's workshop. Cindy Gallion. You know her, Miss Figure.
Sid Gillen, figure champion, Sid Gillen. Yeah, Sid. Yeah, great, 8-time champion, amazing lady.
Oh my God, she is so funny. She is so freaking funny. I did not realize the sense of humor that she had. Oh my God. Anyway, make sure that you're doing all the stretching and mobility work that you need to do to be able to pose correctly. And make sure you pose both sides. If your stage requires for you only to stand on one side like bikini does, you want to make sure that you're posing on both sides, because posing itself can change your aesthetic look because of the contractions and the positions that you're putting your body in can make you off balance. Mm-hmm. So do your mobility work, make sure you're doing your stretching and all that for your posing. It sounds weird, but it's the truth.
Especially
like everybody poses better on one side than the other.
Yeah.
Especially because of your mobility.
Especially in the division where you got to wear high heels. I mean, you have to learn how to move around. I know lady told me she loves her high heels. She sometimes be walking on a treadmill with them on. That's really dedication. I couldn't.
Yeah, people do it. It teaches you to walk in heels if you don't know how to walk in heels. It's good practice. Not a lot of gyms will let you do it. because it's a safety hazard, but
Yeah, if you do it at home, that's good. Man. But if
Yeah.
you do it at the gym, you'd be one of like kids nowadays with the phones out say, "Hey, look at the lady who fell off the treadmill
Yeah.
wearing her heels." And, ha ha ha. But
Yeah.
folks, we're not gonna hold Brianna too long. She had a busy day today. Did a little family thing. We do put.
I have food prep to do. I've got a food prep for the week.
Yeah, she got food prep because that's one important thing. Food prep is important. You got to
Yeah.
put everything together.
You don't want me to be
here.
hangry. You do not want me to be hangry.
Yeah, you're likely when you're angry. Okay. Oh, we got here from a man. One that you want to say it says, "Wishing you well, Brianna. Appreciate, man.
Thank you.
So, and one thing is, one point I think is for especially for competitors is if there's sponsorship, and are you sponsored?
I am not. Nope, I am not. I'm an ambassador for EvoGen and I'm an ambassador for TLF, but that's not a sponsorship. It's different.
Yeah, you get the codes and everybody want to buy stuff. They get the codes, and it used to be sometimes they give you a little per diem for that, but they don't do that much anymore.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I think one thing
I'm not that big of a deal yet.
What this is how they're like this. Sponsorship does help. And I think people should really genuinely reach out to people that really have the great opportunity attitude for it. But there's these guys be a little weird, Marty's he back up and say, "Hey, Brianna, I've seen your videos and but no, you don't want to do that. It's a lovely lady. You should appreciate it. Mrs. Hills, we are interested in you. We find your attitude about bodybuilding very refreshing. We have a product that works for you in your process. So if you're ever interested in being part of our company, being a brand ambassador, we'll take care of your needs. You work with us, we work with you. So let us know if you are interested in being working with us. I know not everybody might be, because everybody has certain things, circumstances of what they want to do with this sport. But if you are, interested, just let us know.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sign the contract, baby. Yeah. So like I said, we're not gonna hold up too long. I'm gonna ask you this question: what would you want out of bodybuilding for yourself as a whole?
That's a good question. It's kind of a hard one to answer. Thanks for putting me on the spot.
Yes, I'm good at that.
I guess just to know that each time I gave it my all and that I came in better than the last time. Would I ever be an Olympian? No. It's not going to happen for me because I'm not willing to cross certain lines. And I'm okay with that. Would I love to step on the Olympia stage? Yes. Even if I'm at the bottom, that would be a dream of mine. Yes. I accomplished one dream. I stepped on the Arnold stage. That was the big one. That was a huge moment for me. But like I said, I'm not willing to do certain things to get there. It's not worth it to me. But just knowing that I gave it my all and that I did everything to the best of my ability and came in better than I did last time. That's my goal for my bodybuilding career.
Mm-hmm. See, quote my favorite movie, Batman Begins, when Thomas Wayne asked his son Bruce, "Why do we fall? Because we learn to pick ourselves up."
Yes. Amen.
Yeah. And like I said, in the quote, my favorite man, Rocky Balboa, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you take the hits and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
That's right.
We have here a comment from my man Kelly says, "Turn green for me." he's a clown. And also he says,
People seem to think that I need to be. People seem to think that I need to be the next Sarah Connor from Terminator.
You know what? That could be good because I think the last Terminator movies weren't that good. We didn't have it. I think one thing was there was that big craze when she was a Terminator. When she did the second Terminator movie, her arms. I really got a lot of attention. Her and Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett. They get a lot of attention, you know. And I
Yeah.
think people would love to see women with actual muscle playing in movies, and me, Kayla, talk about it in movies and TV shows. But I said again, society's not comfortable with it, and that's why you see people like Gail Gadot or Scarlett Johansson or something like that
Mhm.
playing those roles because they look like what the everyday person would want to see. But we do.
Somebody needs to make a bodybuilding movie.
There
Body, a
was
movie with nothing but bodybuilders in it.
that'd be hard to do. I think it'd be. If you hadn't seen it, um, Jonathan Majors got a movie coming out called Magazine Dreams, and I think it's about men's bodybuilding.
Okay.
And there's also a movie called Love Lies Bleeding, and it's about a girl who's want to be a female bodybuilder. A friend of mine, her name is Monica Perez. She has a part in it, and you know it's a small part in the movie. If it came out, I think Love Lies Bleeding came out about a year or so ago, and this movie with Jonathan Majors supposed to be coming out maybe this spring. You know, and we all know the biggest movie for bodybuilding, even for men and women, is Pumping Iron and Pumping Iron 2. And I know Lady did also a documentary about herself. But since you know Hollywood, you gotta find the people we want to get involved, something like that, and you probably have to recruit the right actors for it. Maybe recruit bodybuilders for it, but it's gonna be hard to do it because you gotta be, you know, Hollywood has their ideals and their agendas,
How
and
you
it's just
fucked up anyway. Excuse my
uh,
language.
that's all right. We're adults here. We're
That's my
grown.
opinion.
We're grown. We're
They
grown. We're
just
not.
keep remaking old movies.
I
They've
think.
run out of ideas. They're remaking old movies.
I mean, I remember one movie I went to see was great was The Matrix, and then they made that last one. It wasn't that good. And then as you know, my guy is the Joker. I like the Heath Ledger, but not so much the other guy. That somebody said that movie sucked. A friend of mine sent me she was at the in Los Angeles. We had the movie premiere. She sent me some pictures. She saw Lady Gaga and them, and he said that movie really wasn't bad. I mean, that's the thing is just no originality, anything. Just remaking something, you know. It's just,
See, a
you know,
bodybuilding movie would be original.
yeah, like I said, Rocky was a great movie, you know, and then they created the Creed movie. There wasn't too much that much, you know, the Creeds, but I loved Rocky, you know, and Rambo and like that, you know, and you know, I grew up watching westerns as a kid, you know, but you know, one of my favorite westerns of all time is Tombstone. You know,
I love Tombstone.
Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday. The Daisy if you do, Daisy if you don't. I ain't no Daisy. I mean, that's a classic. You can't.
Yep.
Kurt Russell is a better Wyatt Earp than Kevin Costner. He just when we say like, tell him hell's coming, and I'm bringing it with me. You know, yeah, I mean, just love him at that. We have here my man Michael Boyce before he head out. Michael says, give me a second. He's like, I popped him up. Says, fell out of my bed and hurt my left leg.
Why on earth did you do that?
I don't know. He probably was watching
I'm
and he got
sorry.
excited.
I'm sorry you fell out of bed, and I'm sorry you hurt your left leg.
Also, this is from man KL. He says, a movie about Mildred Burke is coming up next month, but she was a wrestler. Yeah. I think I heard of that. I think Queen of the Ring you're supposed to call it. I think I think have a couple female wrestlers in there. I remember it was a Glow series. I mean, before I started, I was watching a show called Wow. It's women of wrestling. You know, before I started out here, but I think it's just got to find people who will be interested in it, set up a script, get the right people. I would love to see Andrea in it. I mean, honestly, I mean, you know, she can play a little small part in it or something, you know, or anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. He has also. Mike says this. He says, Nerdfish did They're coming to take me away. Had a perfect meme. All right. And he also says, match with Joker. Yeah, whatever. So, folks, you know. I do appreciate the time that Brianna gave us here, and wish her best of luck in all she's doing. Powerlifting the bikini is tough, especially for anybody who gets into the sport, be you a man or woman. I think it's a lot tougher for women, truthfully, because you're built different than men. You know, women, y'all are nurturers, you're mothers, you take care of our kids, you do this and do that, but you know, you found something that you love, and it's a passion. That's a good thing about that. It's so much risk to it, little reward. But you know what? As long as anything worth having, it's worth having.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
before we let you go, you know your man Marty. He's over there. So you say hello, Marty. Thank you again. Anybody else you want to shout out to?
Just all my fans, all my subscribers, guys. I love you. You guys keep me going. Don't forget to shoot the comments down below my videos and my Instagram and stuff. Interact with me. I want to answer your questions. Be respectful, please. Please be respectful. I love you guys, but come on now.
That's one thing.
You're going to have it. It happens. I get it. It happens. I get it.
Sometimes I do this during my, especially when I say, hey, go follow this person. I tell guys, no D pics. Don't send that. I mean, I had ladies tell me, I don't know why guys do that for.
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't, I have ladies, I had ladies tell me, say, George, sometimes we'll be on here and there's a guy saying some strange shit. That's why guys be respectful. Like I say, we know there's guys out there who are fanning y'all ladies with muffles because we get there's a excuse me, Briana, it's an old smoke saying, your ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. But but the thing is, you have to respect you as a person. You are an athlete. You are a woman. You are a teacher, a friend, a mother. Respect is important for y'all ladies because you know what?
Yeah.
Society is always going to have. You have one side. We have the guys who are going to say they don't like women with muscles. You're going to have the guys who might like women with muscle a little too much. But they need to come together and realize that you are a person who's dedicated to something that you love, and that's important to you.
Yep. And I said this to somebody the other day, and I was like, I can disappear just as quick as I showed up. And I'm going to leave that there. If things get out of hand and people are getting way outside my comfort zone and I'm getting more negative than I'm getting positive, I can step away. I'm doing bodybuilding, whether social media knows about it or not.
Yeah, pretty much. You do you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, folks, we do appreciate Briana's time. Shout out to my man Mike Boyce, my brother KL the Wonder, my brother Execution Trade 3, my dear friend, the hand of the king himself, Dennis Espinoza, Balls Deep, and anybody who's here who watched this live, support us. If you want to follow Briana, her links from her IG to her YouTube is all in the description of this live. Check her out. If you're someone who's just interested in maybe working out and training, working out and training, reach out to her if you want to be trained. She's a lovely lady. She's a nice lady. She's dedicated to something that, if you want to learn something, reach out to these ladies because they really will teach you something. Just be open-minded to it. Don't be short-minded. Be open to opportunities because doing this content, I get to learn something when I talk to you ladies.
Yeah.
Y'all, women like yourself, you have your toes 10 toes. You have yourself 10 toes down, and you really are dedicated to what you're doing. And you deserve just as much as accolations and respect as the men who are competing in the sport. And shout out to Marty, great guy. Nice to you coming through, Marty. Best of luck with the So when are you gonna get the marriage?
We haven't set a date yet. I got too much competition stuff to worry about first.
Yeah. Well, one day it's gonna happen when he says
he may never marry me if he has to keep coaching me. We'll see.
Well, he might be saying you might one day get up one morning and say, baby, let's go to the
That's right. We're gonna go do it. We're happening today.
Yeah, you say I'm married now. I'm married. But thank you again, Marty. Appreciate you, brother. Keep working with her. Be patient. You got a long way to go. Us men, we gotta be strong. So
he's my rock.
But also, he has to say something. I can't help it. He has to say this. Oh, Briana, I want to tell you something. Oh, you are beautiful. I'm seeing a specialist about him. I'm trying to take care of him and
he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all
right.
I just love that version of the Joker. He took it and he ran with it. I hate that it made him crazy, but I just love the version, but this is great. He's part of he completes me. But anyway, Briana, I appreciate time giving me for this interview. I wish you all the best of luck. Again, shout out to your man Marty. I wish him the best of luck in whatever he does, and just really take care of yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. I really do. I love getting my story out there. I love hoping, wishing to be inspiring to people. And it's not just, follow my journey. This is what I'm doing. It's me wishing to inspire other people, male, female, whatever, powerlifting, bikini, just all general health. It's about staying healthy. It's about taking care of you, taking care of the body that you have, because you only got one.
Yeah, this one here is
Right.
it's kind of stretched out a bit, so but I do appreciate, ma'am. I thank you for the time you've given me. I wish you best of luck again, and congratulations on all of your success in the coming future. And like I said, if you ever want to come out here and shoot the shit, let me know. You're all I tell the ladies, you're always welcome guests because this is why I
Oh,
do this
thank you.
channel. This is a channel about giving y'all ladies to respect, to share your stories, to be open about yourself, the people to learn what it is to be an athlete in sport. I gotta tell you, I do Cuban goodbyes. I take you on, take goodbye, but I enjoy when I get a chance to talk to anybody in this sport.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, I just want my quote from family movie Batman again when Jim Gordon says to Batman, he says, "Never got a chance to thank you," and Batman turned around and says, "You never have to." That's why I do this. So, folks, I appreciate y'all for coming through. I think tomorrow is Groundhog's Day. I think it is. I hope that hog stay on the ground.
No,
I don't care.
Groundhog's Day already happened.
How it happened?
It was yesterday. We got 6 more weeks of winter, buddy.
I'm in the South. We don't worry about that. It was warm one day. It was yesterday. It was fast. Usually,
February 1st.
usually it'd be like the first Monday sometimes.
No, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Look at the calendar. Google it.
Oh yeah.
That fucker saw a shadow.
Fuck him. Fuck him. You don't mean shit. Just leave that in the ground. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Good old Punxsutawney. Good old Punxsutawney Phil.
It's that other one. It's Phil and the other one.
I don't know who the other one is.
I forget the other one's name.
Everybody
goes with Phil most of the time. Remember the movie Groundhog's Day?
Groundhog's Day. Yeah.
That's a classic.
Dave
anyway,
Bill Murray.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, we like to thank again Briana. Also thank Marty for coming through. Appreciate my brothers, Exe Gucci and all and KL and all those came through. Share, comment, subscribe. And so again, if you want to follow Briana, her links are in the description of the live of this video. Check her out if you someone just want to train or just someone wants to really, support a woman. These ladies can use support. It's a tough sport. Like the great Ronnie Coleman says, everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but no one lifts his heavy ass weight.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy your rest of your week. Good evening. The weekend is going to be over when Sunday is over. Oh God. And I would say, and thank you for your time coming through. This is your mail away church page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. Have a good evening, good night, good luck, and God bless.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And